Hey everyone, welcome to my Amazon Influencer Earnings Report for July of 2024. For those of you who are new to this is a series where I explore joining the Amazon Influencer Program and share with you guys basically how much money I've been able to make with the program. I've experimented with a lot of online income sources. Probably if there's a way to make money online, I've done it. And this is one of the newer ones that I've been spending a significant amount of time on. Quick note, there are no courses or upsells or anything that behind this video. This video is just for entertainment, and I hope you find, a few useful lessons in here. If you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe. So I'll just go through the earnings first, since I know it's what most of you care about anyway. So in July, I earned a total of $2,249. So this is my third month doing the program. So this month I absolutely exceeded my expectations. Um, I honestly was stunned. Now, there's a couple of things that made this month unique, which I'll go into. But still, this is definitely like the first time it crossed enough earnings where I'm like, yeah, this is an income stream worth, spending a lot of time on. Going from just sort of like side hustle to maybe like making this, at least for a few months, the primary sort of focus. So I added 377 videos. So, as that implies, I was doing this not full time, but I was spending a lot of time creating new videos. Uh, some of the videos I filmed uh, were basically products that I had already either ordered in advance or had lined up around the house. So I would say there was a bit of efficiency this month based on the previous months. And I had some videos too that I just hadn't posted last month. I was still editing them. So basically, yeah, I went really hard. I was trying to get as many of these done before Prime Day. And as many of you know, that's when typically we see like a pretty big bump in Amazon affiliate earnings. So now I have a total of 901 videos, which is a lot. My goal originally for like, I think the end of the year I said was maybe like 1,000. So I'm easily on track to do that. No worries, I can do that. But this month was definitely a lot. I spent a lot of time on this, and I was really just trying to make sure I optimized for Prime Day. And I wanted to find out, basically last month's earnings were like 950 or something. So I was trying to see, if I really kept just increasing the videos, could I really make that number double at least? And the answer is yes. So this is a chart that breaks down the earnings per day, which probably will help explain kind of what's going on here. Obviously, the earnings, there's a fair amount of variance here, and that's partly because Amazon Prime Day or Prime Days occurs in the middle of the month, but also just a few other reasons. So you can see that the month was starting off kind of normal-ish, a little higher than last month. Last month, I was averaging something like 30 uh, dollars basically per day. This month, I would go on to average about twice that, 70 some dollars per day. So, yes, Prime Days boosted things, but they were not the only days that were up. Overall, the trend was still very positive. So you can see Prime Days occurring on the 17th and 18th. I believe that's one day staggered. I think Prime Day was 16th and 17th. You don't get paid in the Amazon Influencer Program until items actually ship out. So there tends to be a day or two delay. But Amazon Prime Day just drives so much interest in spending across the internet. And Amazon is such a behemoth that it moves tremendous amounts and encourages huge amounts of internet traffic, specifically with commercial intent, basically right around the 16th through the 18th, and that's where you see my record days. So my highest day so far, at least, was little over $160. So that was pretty cool to see. Um, what was neat though was that yes, those days in the middle were high, but then several days later, I had like a day that was like 159. Um, so yeah, and even toward the end of the month, I still, I had a few days over $100. So those are pretty good numbers. I'm very happy with them. As far as like the actual, distribution of earnings day to day, I don't really focus on that too much. Uh, of course, like, yeah, I check them on a daily basis just because I'm curious, but I think it's important to kind of, step back because really all your traffic is coming from one source. And so if you don't, especially if you don't have a lot of products, your results are going to vary wildly. Um, Actually, if anything, I would say based on this, since the lowest day was 19, I believe, and the highest was 160, that is a big range. But some of my other last 2 months, you had 0 days or like $1 or $2 days. So this was a really solid month all around. And definitely of all the side hustles I've tried, I can't think of really any where I, crossed the 4-figure monthly mark in the third month. I come from the blogging world primarily, and I do lots of affiliate marketing there, and it would be unheard of for this to occur in like a standard blog. I've had blogs earn a lot more than this, but they take a lot longer. So here are just a couple of the key statistics for those of you that are in the program. You probably care about these a bit. So in total, I had a little over 1,500 items shipped. So that's 1,500 plus items that were attributed to my videos. So that's a lot. That's a big amount. Um, the shipped revenue this month was something like 67,000, meaning that's what, in terms of revenue, Amazon was earning from all the products just that I made videos on. So that goes to show how much money they're making. The conversion rate was 14%. So it was about 1.5% higher than last month. So always good to see that increase. And that probably played a role in driving the earnings a bit. I've seen people say that like you have these really high conversion rates in the Amazon influencer program, like 15 to 20%, that a lot of people claim is what they have. And maybe they do, but this is my highest month at 14. It was typically more like 11 or 12 or a little more in the previous months. So this was a high. And overall, clicks more than doubled. So 10,766 clicks. So that's the number of people that are actually, clicking on my videos and finding them either in their feed or the video carousels. So as for my kind of overall progress, last month was 965 in total Amazon influencer earnings. This month was about $2,249, and that's 133% increase. So that's great. Previous month was a massive increase, something like 300%. So that's not surprising. I've front loaded a lot of the video creation, and yeah, I was expecting to see big surges in these first few months if it was going to work. Still wasn't sure it was actually going to pay off, but um, it just shows, how quickly, things can grow. Um, so that really speaks to, I think, the potential of the program. So last, I'll just go through some of my thoughts on how this month went, and moreover the strategies sort of going forward. So when you're doing the Amazon Influencer Program, I would say there's generally two phases. The first phase is you're typically reviewing everything that you already own. And depending on how much stuff you own, that can be a lot of stuff. And depending on how fast you make your videos and how much stuff you have, yeah, that could take a long time. I really, this push was designed to basically churn through all the stuff that I pretty much owned that was also for sale on Amazon. Um, there's a few things I haven't done, like around the house, but uh, definitely all the low hanging fruit, and pretty much even then, I've just experimented with a lot of lower dollar items too, just to see how they've performed. Um, and sometimes those are unexpected successes. So I do think that if you already have stuff, that's the easiest way to, and the lowest risk way to pursue this program. Um, and then basically, yeah, you keep reviewing things as you get new products. Obviously, the problem with this is that limits the total number of videos. Again, if you have like, you know, um, just like a giant house full of stuff, it's possible that you might have 2 or 3 thousand or more items that you can review. Um, but it just depends on your shopping habits. For me, I determined that there were probably about 1,000. Well, there are probably about 500 to 600 videos that were like I knew I could do from my current place, and so I knew after that I'd have to start purchasing items or slow down because I'd run out of things to make videos about. So this month was my first month like really strategically purchasing items, meaning I started buying things just for the purpose of reviewing them. I didn't go totally crazy with that. I generally still stuck to categories of things that really were more like wants versus needs. So if I needed like if I could use something like let's say like a camera lens or something that's like super, long distance. Maybe I don't need that, but if the metrics look good on Amazon and there's not a lot of videos to compete with, then yeah, maybe I'll splurge on that. So I did stuff like that. Not all with high dollar products though, just lots of little things. Whether it was office supplies or just, you know, basically kind of overstocking on like all the things I might need, like basically thinking what I might buy over the next year and just accelerating some of that. And part of that was to get the Prime Day deals on some of the items too, so I could acquire them cheaper. But yeah, that's like the phase I'm at now. And people always say, well, you can go to your friends, family, and I might do that, but I honestly that takes a lot of effort. It's a pretty big ask, given how long the videos take to kind of like take over someone's house and like really, if you really want to genuinely test the products and offer like an authentic review, which I do, then that's a big inconvenience. I know my parents will be out of town at some point, so I might do some stuff at their place, but they don't have like a ton of Amazon specific stuff, so uh, yeah, it might be a little harder to find. So I'm gonna continue probably buying, 1 to 200 smaller items this month. So basically, I'm planning on reinvesting every, 100% or more of what I've made so far. So far, I'm at 3,500 ish. So last month I probably spent 1,500. This month I'll probably spend maybe 2,000 just on products. Now, then some of those products I'll be able to resell or figure out another way to mitigate the cost. So that won't be the full expense. But that's a balance. There's some things where it's just cheaper to buy the product, review it, throw it away, or donate it to Goodwill, ideally. But some products, aren't conducive to that. Goodwill doesn't want them, and they're hard to even give away. So it really just depends on the type of products you want to go after. So that's what I'm going to be basically testing this month is, you know, basically with spending like $1,000 to $2,000, how many products can I get? How did those products compare to the products I already had? Because the ROI is really all that matters here. If a product is selling really well, then it might pay for itself in, you know, uh, 6 months. And I have some products like that I bought that even in the first 2 months have already paid for themselves. So there are products like that out there. Part of this too gets into doing a really deep analysis of the data. So right now, up until this point, I've cast really wide net and have been willing to review just about everything. But not all products are equal in that Amazon has different percentage commissions for each. So if you're doing a product that has 4% commission, which is on the higher end, then that means you need to sell, if you're just buying it for the purpose of the review, 25 of those products, like to actually make back your money. Um, so I'm trying to find things that I can generally make my money back. So 100% return within the 6 to 12 month mark. So I'd consider that good. And I've got some extra money to play with here. So that's, you know, that's the great thing about digital marketing and all these things. Uh, if I couldn't dabble in real estate with a few thousand a month, not like purchasing, real estate, but something like this, yeah, for a few thousand a month, you can basically be a pretty big fish. Since most people are trying to only do this with things that they already own or do it on the cheap, which is smart. But again, I'm doing this as a test to see, can I make eventually 5,000, maybe even 10,000 a month. I'm trying to see where the ceiling is. So I'll need to continue purchasing items. And I've also started doing some uh, initial outreach with brands that are sending me free items or items where they're free and they're paying me to review it. I don't like that because it adds an unnecessary amount of communication in the process, and I don't like that. I value my time at a pretty high rate, but I'm going to experiment with some of those because if somebody will, basically cover the cost of the video and send me a product I could use that's expensive for free, yeah, I'll give it a try. And then I guess the other big goal is reach 1,000 videos, which I've basically already done. Um, so I know I'll do that, but that would be the big target. And after that, I'm pretty much going to uh, try to continue probably this level of spend for maybe another 1 to 2 months. Uh, Basically, just to get as much data as possible. We'll have August, September, really October even, and then you'll have the big months potentially of uh, I guess November and December are the biggest months, but really all of Q4 is where Amazon spending ticks up. So the goal is to have both the strategy dialed in and to have like the optimal amount of videos that I want to invest in up at least a month in advance of Q4. So basically that means I need to like September's kind of like the the cutoff. So I'll have like 2 more months to continue with this. And then after that, I'll probably just enjoy those 2 months spending nothing and, reevaluate in 2025 if this is something I want to keep investing in or I just want to let it, start cash flowing positive. So, uh, again, I don't recommend you go out and spend a bunch of money reviewing products. They're really, you can review so many things on Amazon. It's incredible. I would really suggest digging deep on things you already have. That's just, it's the safest. They're the products you're most familiar with. You can't lose with those. Um, once you learn how to make videos at an efficient pace, even then you can minimize the risk of spending too much time. So that's my strategy going forward and some of my plans. I always love to hear from you guys. Just, kind of what you're doing, how your strategy varies. So be sure to leave a comment. I'll definitely be curious to read them and respond to them. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you found a few useful tidbits in there. Maybe some just little strategies you can implement yourself. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment in the video. I always do my best to answer them all. If you like this style of content, be sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I have a couple different income experiments across different fields that I'm documenting right now. And yeah, I really appreciate it. It helps boost the overall visibility in YouTube's algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.